For centuries, the Bushido code has captured the imagination of people around the world. Often translated as the way of the warrior, Bushido represents the ethical and spiritual backbone of the samurai in feudal Japan. Yet the real Bushido was never a simple list of rules, nor was it a fantasy of flawless warriors driven only by noble ideals. It evolved over hundreds of years, shaped by war, politics, religion, and the changing social order of Japan. Still, its influence echoes into the present day, shaping martial arts, corporate culture, personal development, and even modern storytelling. In this video, we'll explore the real Bushido, its core virtues, its origins, its contradictions, and how its principles are used, or misunderstood, today. We'll look at the 7 virtues commonly associated with the Bushido code, examine how samurai applied them in practice, and uncover examples from both history and the modern world. Whether you're drawn to warriors, philosophy, or Japanese culture, Bushido offers valuable lessons about loyalty, courage, discipline, and the pursuit of inner strength. So sit back, relax, and let's travel into the world of the samurai. This is the Bushido code, its principles, its reality, and its lasting legacy. Bushido didn't appear overnight. Its roots reach far into Japan's early history, long before the word itself existed. The earliest samurai were provincial warriors serving regional lords during the Heian period. Their values were shaped by a mixture of Shinto belief, Confucian ethics, and Zen Buddhism. Over time, these spiritual and philosophical traditions merged into a loose code of conduct. During the Kamakura and Muromachi periods, samurai became Japan's ruling class, responsible not just for fighting but for governance. As political responsibilities expanded, so did the expectations placed on them. Loyalty to one's lord, obedience to authority, and personal discipline became central. Zen monks taught warriors the value of mental clarity and acceptance of death. Confucian scholars emphasized moral duty, proper behavior, and responsibility to society. Interestingly, Bushido was not formally written until much later, and even then, different schools and thinkers described it in different ways. What we now call the Bushido code is a distillation of centuries of warrior tradition, refined, romanticized, and reinterpreted across generations. The first and arguably most important Bushido virtue is rectitude, or GI. It represents justice, moral integrity, and the unwavering commitment to doing what is right. To the samurai, rectitude was the backbone of character. Without it, all other virtues lose their meaning. A samurai was expected to make decisions with clarity, fairness, and firm resolve, even when the consequences were severe. Rectitude meant standing up for what one believed was right, even if it conflicted with personal gain or convenience. It also meant judging situations fairly, respecting truth, and avoiding selfish desires. In daily life, rectitude shaped everything from governance to battlefield strategy, demanding honorable conduct even under pressure. Yet in history, justice was not always absolute. Samurai served their lords, and their interpretation of rectitude could sometimes justify harsh actions. Still, despite these contradictions, rectitude remains one of Bushido's most powerful ideals, a call to moral strength and right action. Courage in Bushido goes far beyond physical bravery. Known as Yu, it is the courage to live according to one's values, even when fear, uncertainty, or social pressure stands in the way. Samurai were trained to accept death as a natural part of life, a mindset that freed them from hesitation in battle. But courage also applied to the quiet decisions of everyday life, taking responsibility, admitting faults, or acting with integrity when no one is watching. True courage is not reckless. The samurai understood that impulsive actions rooted in pride were dangerous. Instead, Bushido teaches a balance, the courage to face adversity while remaining disciplined, thoughtful, and grounded. In modern times, you can be seen in individuals who push past their fears to pursue their goals, stand up for others, or persevere during hardship. It is a universal virtue that transcends culture and era. Despite their martial lives, samurai were also expected to embody compassion. Benevolence, or jin, reminds us that power must be used responsibly. As warriors capable of great violence, samurai were taught to balance strength with mercy, especially toward the weak, the poor, and the defeated. Stories from Japanese history include samurai who provided food during famines, protected villages, or showed mercy to enemies who surrendered. Though not all warriors lived up to these ideals, the concept of benevolence helped humanize the samurai code, encouraging empathy and humility. In the modern world, Jin reflects acts of kindness, leadership through service, and the ability to use one's influence to uplift others. True strength, according to Bushido, always includes compassion. Respect, or rei, forms the etiquette of the warrior's path. Samurai culture placed great importance on manners, courtesy, and disciplined behavior. Bowing, speaking politely, and moving with intentional calm were all reflections of a trained mind and honorable spirit. Respect didn't mean weakness. Instead, it meant recognizing the dignity of others, even rivals. A true samurai fought fiercely in battle but treated opponents with courtesy before and afterward. Respect extended to teachers, elders, family members, and one's lord, reflecting Bushido's deep connection to social harmony. Today, rei can be seen in martial arts dojos around the world, where students bow to their instructors and to the training space itself. It reminds us that respect is not just a ritual but a mindset that shapes relationships, communication, and self-discipline. Honesty and sincerity, or makoto, demand complete truthfulness in word and action. To the samurai, lying was not only dishonorable but a sign of internal weakness. A warrior's promise had to be absolute, so much so that written contracts were considered less trustworthy than one's spoken word. Sincerity meant aligning intention and behavior. A samurai was encouraged to be transparent, genuine, and straightforward. Hidden agendas and manipulation were considered dishonorable, even in politics. In real-world practice, this virtue was challenging. Political struggles, shifting alliances, and the realities of war often led samurai to act in ways that contradicted these ideals. Nevertheless, makoto remains one of Bushido's most admired principles, inspiring people today to seek authenticity and truth in their lives. Honor, or meio, is perhaps the most iconic, and misunderstood, virtue of Bushido. Honor represented a warrior's reputation, inner dignity, and commitment to living according to their principles. A samurai's honor was more valuable than wealth, rank, or even life itself. This intense devotion to personal honor led to both noble and tragic outcomes. Many samurai demonstrated extraordinary dedication, courage, and loyalty. Yet at times, the pressure to maintain one's honor pushed warriors toward extreme actions, including ritual suicide, known as seppuku. While such practices may seem alien or shocking today, they reflected a cultural worldview in which personal integrity had absolute meaning. Honor today has a different shape. It can be seen in someone who holds to their values, fulfills their responsibilities, and treats others with fairness and dignity. Honor is not about perfection, it is about striving to align one's actions with one's principles. Loyalty, or chu, tied the samurai to their lords, their families, and their comrades. A warrior was expected to serve faithfully, even at great personal cost. This loyalty formed the foundation of samurai society, ensuring order and stability in a world marked by warfare and shifting alliances. Yet loyalty was not blind obedience. Bushido encouraged warriors to serve with integrity, advising lords when they were wrong and acting for the greater good of the clan. The relationship between lord and samurai was ideally one of mutual respect and responsibility. In modern life, loyalty can mean staying committed to one's goals, supporting friends and family, or honoring promises. It is a virtue that strengthens communities and builds trust. Today, the Bushido code continues to influence Japanese culture and global philosophy. In Japan, echoes of Bushido appear in martial arts like Kendo, Aikido, and Karate, where students learn discipline, respect, and perseverance. Even in business culture, ideas of responsibility, loyalty, and group harmony reflect the legacy of samurai ethics. Outside Japan, Bushido gains new life in literature, games, cinema, and self-improvement teachings. Modern audiences admire the samurai's discipline, resilience, and sense of purpose. However, it's important to remember that Bushido was not a perfect system. It was shaped by its time, and real samurai did not always live up to its ideals. Still, the core virtues, courage, compassion, sincerity, respect, honor, loyalty, and moral integrity, offer timeless lessons. These values transcend culture, reminding us of the human desire to live with meaning, strength, and purpose. Whether we're facing personal challenges, pursuing our goals, or striving to become better people, the spirit of Bushido encourages us to act with bravery, kindness, and unwavering character. The samurai may belong to the past, but their code continues to inspire the world.